All right. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
We got a Friday Halloween. That should be like super scary. It's better
I
than
know there should
Friday
be
the
lots
13th.
and lots of kids out too, right?
Lots of kids. Yep.
Hmm?
Um, Today is the 31st of October, and we are back with the Option Genius show. My name is Alan. With me again is my buddy in crime, Matt, and we help people learn to sell options in
Right.
a somewhat passive manner. It's not exactly hands off. You do have to use your brain and click some buttons once in a while.
You
um,
should be required to do that,
you got to do
in my
something. You got to stay
opinion.
on top of it a little
Yeah,
bit, right? I mean, it's your money, so you
right.
should at least know what's going on.
Hmm.
I
Take
love the
ownership
people.
of it.
Yeah, I love the people that are like, "Oh, here's my money. I don't know what you're doing. I don't care. Just make it grow."
As long as it's just
Okay.
growing, just forget about it. Just
Yeah.
just make it happen.
Well, that's how you get Bernie Madoffs, you
Hmm.
know? People don't ask any questions, don't want to know what's going on, and then one day it's just all gone.
Well, you have to own it at the end of the day. And it's the same with anything, in my opinion.
It's your money. Nobody cares more about your money than you.
I tell people about that too. Like we are on the coaching calls, and I'm like, you know, don't rely on all the talking heads and all the noise around you. At the end of the day, it's your trade. So you have to make the decision with all the information out there, but make it your decision, right? So you have to take ownership of your trade and how you apply the strategies.
Yeah. Well, the talking heads are they're talking their book. You know, they come on
Mhm.
the TV, and if they're long something, they're going to be like, "Oh, this is the best thing. Everybody should get into it."
Right.
And if they're short, they're going to talk about how bad it is.
Right.
Um,
Which
there's
may not be the best for you.
no,
Most of the time
no.
it's not.
Like you have the Mad Money show, right? Jim Cramer, he interviews all these CEOs. I've yet to see a CEO come on there and say bad stuff about their company.
They won't, of course not.
Like, how does that make any sense? And he doesn't even give them like hard questions, you know, he gives them like all these softball type questions. It's like, come on, man, be a journalist.
I
But
do love
it,
all the people that come on and they go against Jim Cramer. So whenever he says something, they go the opposite. I find that fascinating.
yeah,
Fun to
yeah,
watch.
yes, sir. There's a yeah. Oh man. All right. So let's look at markets today. S&P is up 15 points, so 0.2%. The Russell's pretty flat. Oil is at 61 dollars up. Nasdaq is up almost 0.5%. Gold is down. The Dow Jones is flat. VIX is at 17.8. So it has jumped a little 5% today, even though market is up. So VIX is up. So that's interesting. Usually when the market is up, VIX is down, but today we have the opposite. Um, Oil volatility is also up 4% today. So something's happening under the surface. Bitcoin's at 110. Hasn't really done much.
Yep, they're pretty flat.
Yeah. So we had news today. Netflix is going to do a 10 to 1 stock split. So the stock is up 3%. Um, I guess that's good for people who want to buy shares.
Now, was that announcement today or yesterday?
It might have been after the bell
I think it was
yesterday.
yesterday. They
Was
had
it
their earnings,
yesterday?
and I feel like they did it after the earnings. They just,
No, earnings was a few days ago. Yeah, a couple days
but
ago.
yeah, but then the announcement
Or last
was,
week. Earnings was last week.
yeah, then they had the announcement
Yeah. So I
after
mean,
that.
right now it's at, trading at 11.20, 1,120. So cut it in 10, divided by 10. So $111 a share, $112 a share.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they whiffed on earnings and down 10%, just like Meta yesterday, or the day before, down 10% and down even more today. I happen to be in both with naked puts, deep in the
Oh,
money
yeah,
now.
how are those looking?
Deep in
Yeah.
the money now.
Okay.
um, and so yeah, I'm just rolling them forward as we go through it. I've been actually in both of them rolling forward because they did have ascending charts where the charts were going higher and higher, and then they stopped and they kind of went sideways. Um, and then I got in the money, and then I've been rolling for probably a couple months now, weeklies.
Yeah.
But now, with thanks to earnings, I'm much deeper in the money. Almost got out of Meta. Man, it was out of the money, and then we had earnings, and so I was like, oh, check it.
Yeah, that's pretty big drop there.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
I mean, they'll come back. I think the stock will be back. So, it's just a matter of just keep rolling it, or take the stock if you want and start selling covered calls. But I think at this point, I'm just going to keep rolling the puts as long as I can. Because at this point, it's just like, it's kind of like, I'm using my money to make more money, right? It's not, I don't, it doesn't matter if it's this stock or any other stock, and I don't have any stock. So it's just like, okay, I'm using this much money, and every time I roll it, I make this much. So I'm making a percent every time I roll it.
Yeah,
So,
rolling's very, you have to be pretty patient with it, right?
yeah. And you gotta make sure, I think if the naked put that's in the money, you gotta make sure that you are pretty far away in time so that there's a significant time value there. Otherwise, you run the risk of getting assigned. So Michael, we got a question. Michael's asking Meta and CMG down a lot. Would you sell puts on these two? Well, I don't, I thought about selling some more on Meta, but then I backed off. If you were to get into them now, CMG, what do you think, Matt? CMG,
CMG is a very interesting one to me. I don't, I have to admit, I don't know what the reason is or why they had such a downward push, I guess, on earnings, but it is a solid company. I don't know if people are just pulling back on
on
generally.
eating out. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, of course.
that's
I
what they
think that would
said,
be the reason. Yeah.
They said
Yeah.
that their primary target is like the younger demographic, 20, 25 and below, and those people are just eating at home more. They said they're not eating out, they're not going to competitors, but they're not eating out. They're eating at
Right.
home. And so that's why their sales are down significantly. So yeah, I don't
But
know.
nothing in the story of the company, in my view, has changed. So it would be a question of how long I want to own it and for what, right? Am I doing this in a retirement account or am I just trying to,
Right. No, but the
uh,
question is, would you sell puts on the right now?
uh, I'd wait a little bit just to see.
Yeah, I wouldn't do CMG. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't like the story right now. I mean, if they can't get people in the stores, that's not a good thing, right? And we don't
How
know.
long is that going to be, right? So
Yes.
we don't know that, right? So yes, I agree with, I would not be doing puts on it right now.
Yeah. Meta, maybe. I might, give it a few days after earnings to see how it settles down. If it keeps going lower and lower, then probably not. Um, because, for a naked put is basically a sideways to bullish trade, so you want it to going at least sideways. Um, I don't know when it's going to pop back up, but for one, I don't think I'll be putting more capital into the trade. But if you're
Yeah.
getting into it, I'd probably wait a couple days and see how it does. Now, keep in mind, disclaimer, we are not individual investment advisors. We're not licensed. Don't take anything we say with you know, don't don't listen to us, basically.
Just don't copy us.
Yeah, yeah, don't do what we do, or don't listen to us, or whatever. You get your own little financial advisor and ask them questions. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. You can lose money trading, and all this naked put stuff is naked puts are bad for you, man. Don't eat naked puts. Too much cholesterol. It's just really bad.
But it is interesting, like we just brought it up that there's two different stories, right? You have Chipotle, we don't know the full story, right? And you do know a little bit more about the tech scene with these companies about the direction it's going. So should enter your mind about how you're going to do the strategy that you're going to employ.
hmm Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Facebook is still the reason that Facebook went down or Meta is because they said we're going to be spending more money on AI spent, right? So they were going to spend about 62 million or billion, sorry, 62 billion with a
That
B
makes
next.
investors really anxious. That makes them really uncomfortable. They're like, okay, you're spending all this money, on CapEx, everything.
Yeah.
Um, it's like,
But it's crazy though because they said we're going to spend they increased it from like 62 to 70, okay? Amazon comes out yesterday and it's like, "Oh, we're going to spend 120," and their stock goes up. So it's just like, yeah, it's really a tale of everybody, different
maybe
horses.
we should look into how they're explaining this during these earning calls.
It
You know,
might be, yeah.
someone's probably a little bit better than the other one.
Communication is very
Yeah,
important.
and key, right?
Yep.
So,
Psychology, it's like communication. Yeah, it's a skill.
but they are
But
all in a war right now. I mean, they're all trying to be who's going to emerge, right?
mm-hmm.
Um, they're
Yep.
all in that space. So
Yep. I was so on another note, I was reading a book this morning, and it was one of those Market Wizards books. You ever read any of those?
I've heard about them, but no.
Yeah, Jack Schwager. I don't know how to say the name. I probably butchered it, but he wrote these books. He started years ago, calling Market Wizards, where he would interview guys that were doing really, really well trading. And these books became very popular because he asked them all these questions and they responded with, "Oh, yeah, this is my strategy and this is how I think," and blah, blah, blah. So he wrote a few of them. So I was reading one yesterday or this morning that was Unknown Market Wizards. And so there's this guy, the first chapter, he's interviewing this guy, and you know, the guy's been trading for a long time. He was trading on the floor of the options pits. That was like when in the 70s,
Mhm.
70s, 80s. So this guy's been trading for 40, 50 years already. Old guy, probably, right? He traded for about 15 years in the 70s and 80s and then stopped. And then he came back in the 2000s. So he stopped for a while. And the guy asked him, it's like, "Hey, I know that you used to be a real technical analysis trader. Um, do you still do that when you came back?" And the guy was like, "No, no." He goes, "Before, when I was in the pit in the 70s, the 80s, even the 90s," he goes, um, technical analysis was very simple. It worked like a charm. The charts would tell you exactly what's going to happen, and you could make money on it hand over fist, no problem. But when I came back in the 2000s, I tried and I started using my same strategies, my same charting, my same patterns, and they don't work anymore.
Hmm.
And so, he was like, right now I use charts, but I don't use them to predict what the stock is going to do. That's what most people do, right? He goes, I don't see that being able to work. It doesn't work most of the time. And so the only reason I'm using charting is to find a entry point based on what I think the stock is going to do or the future. He's trading both. So, I mean, most people, when you're like, "Oh, hey, I want to get into this trading or whatnot," somebody's going to tell you, "Oh, you have to learn the technicals. You got to learn how to read the charts." And so all these strategies, right, that you've heard about, support, resistance, this indicator, the Bollinger Bands, the Elliott Wave, Gann theory, Fibonacci, all
Endless.
these have, I mean, there's so many of them, but all of them have been around for decades and decades. And here's this guy being like, "Yeah, I grew up and I know some of the people that created these things." He's like, "Yeah, I'm friends with them. I still know them if they're around." And he goes, "Yeah, they don't work."
So did he give it an exact reason, or was the question asked why this is so, in his opinion?
So in his opinion, it's, if too many people using the same thing, it stops working because then there are others that try to take advantage of it.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
he's like, "I used to do a lot of breakout patterns. So if a stock was going, it was at a certain level, then it would break out and then it would keep going." He goes, "Now it doesn't work anymore. Like I'll do the same exact strategy, the same exact trade, but the stock will break out and it'll come right back down. People won't let it break out." He goes, I'm not sure why, but that was one example that he gave.
Hmm.
So it was interesting. And then the other thing he said, which was really cool, he goes, one of his mentors taught him that in all of trading and all the news, all everything, you know, behind the markets, there is one major undercurrent. So there's one thing that's driving the markets, and it's on a more longer term basis, several months, maybe years. It's just one thing that pushes the markets in one direction, and everything else is noise. So people are like, "Oh yeah, market's up because this, markets are down. This is short term, long term." But he goes, there's always one thing. And if you understand what that one thing is, you're going to be on the right side of the direction. So I was thinking about that and I'm like, huh,
I love that.
okay.
I love that idea because you want to be directionally correct, right? And then all the other, like you just said, everything else is just kind of noise because you're going along that direction. So
Yeah, everything else is short term, but if you have the long term correct, then you can be right most of the time. Um, and so I was thinking about that. What would that be now? So like, oh yeah, we have the AI trade, we have the Mag 7, we have government shutdown, we have trade
interest rate
tariffs,
cuts, yeah.
and I was like, so based on all that, the one I came up with was the Fed cutting rates. I think the fact that they switched from, being rate higher to rate neutral to actually rate lower, I think that is a big shift. And I think that is the major undercurrent. I could be wrong, of course. This is my opinion. But I think that is what's going to push the markets in a certain direction for as long as that happens. Right now, we did in a previous call that when the Fed starts cutting rates, usually as soon as they do it, the market is up 6 to 12% a year later. And so I think that really is there. And then I was thinking about it. Well, what about AI? Right? I mean, well, what about the AI trade? Is that what's pushing the markets higher? Nasdaq keeps going up. S&P is full
Partially,
of
but
Max
it's a
Seven.
lot of unknown there.
It's a lot
Yeah.
of unknown. But then I thought about it deeper, and I'm like, all these companies, these AI companies, they are spending mega billions. Where are they getting the money? Well, they either have to borrow the money or they have to sell stock. Now, if they're going to borrow the money, lower rates will make things cheaper for them. So they can
Mhm.
borrow more money, it'll be cheaper to repay, and it'll keep the coffers open and they'll keep spending. If rates go up, that a lot of that stuff shuts down, right? So the whole AI trade will like pause or even decrease.
Or crater.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
the other thing is they can sell stock. Well, if rates are high, then a lot of people, a lot of investors, a lot of pension funds and whatnot, they're going to be in the bond market. But if rates are low, they're going to come into the stock market. And so there'll be more money sloshing around to buy any stock that these guys sell. So I was like, okay, I think this lower rates is what's actually going to fuel the AI. So the AI is like the effect, and the lower rates is the cause. So
Yeah.
that's what I came up with. I don't know.
All
What do you
connected
think?
for sure. I think it's all connected. Um, we're all related. I mean, the big shift, like you said, is the monetary policy. It drives everything. And until that changes, that's going to remain that direction as far as we can see. Um, we're going to have some pullbacks and big events, but that is the major driver, in my opinion.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
I, but it's also, it brings me up to think about, okay, yeah, typically, and I just raised this question, right? Most people, traditional finance, you go 60% into stocks and you go 40% into bonds, but the bonds aren't even yielding anything good anymore, right? We have inflation going so high, so why would you put your money in bonds?
hmm.
I think
Yep.
it's a big major question right now. I mean, it's just like, okay, everyone's exiting, they're not buying the treasuries. Um, you have stable coins in there trying to increase allocation of bonds across the world, in fact, to the US dollar, but it's not really beating inflation, right? So where are you going to put your money? I think we're all into, unfortunately, we're all forced to seek the yield that we need
Hmm.
to survive in a way.
Yep. And so, you have all the rhetoric be like, oh, the market is overinflated and it's too expensive right now. The PE ratios are out of whack. The government has so much debt, blah, 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 blah. All that is just side stuff. It's just, but the underlying picture is still the main monetary policy. So I thought that was interesting. It's a cool way to look at it.
Yeah, and until that changes, like anything, right? You ride along that wave, the way I see it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. And then to switch gears here, there's been a lot of chatter about Trump and his
There's wait
third
a minute. There's
term.
a chatter about Trump. It's so quiet.
And his third term. Um, and so I don't know how it got started, but like even Jon Stewart was like, nobody's going to build a 90,000 square foot ballroom if he's not expecting to come back for a third term.
It's a good point. You know,
And they already got the merchandise. They got the hats, they got the shirts. They actually have Trump 2028 hats already. You can go and get them.
remember, it takes me back to remember a month or two ago where he was just railing on Jerome Powell about having the expansion of the Fed building.
Yes, yes.
Now he's like, oh, this went way over budget, and then he goes and builds a. It doesn't matter, right? Obviously, but it's just such a sideshow and such a production.
Yep.
But,
So, so there was a clip I saw. One of his cronies was being interviewed, and I don't know, I don't know how it started, but they asked him about the third, about him seeking re-election, and they were like, "What about the 22nd Amendment?" Because the 22nd Amendment is the one that limits you to two terms as a president.
mhm.
And the crony was like, "Oh, well, there's a plan for that."
Of
I was
course,
like,
we don't know
oh,
it, but
there's a plan for that. Oh, okay, here we go. Come here. So then I looked it up and I'm like, okay, so, I'm thinking, okay, if there's a plan for that, that means they got to get rid of this amendment. So I looked it up and I'm like, how do you get rid of an amendment? Or how do you change an amendment? Or how do you make an amendment? It all has the same process. And in order to do that, you have to hold on one second. Let me look. I have it on here on my sheet. You have to have two-thirds of Congress. So both parties, two-thirds, suggest and put this forward. And then once it is forward, then you have to have three-fourths of all of the state legislators. So three-fourths of the states have to ratify it.
mm,
So I'm thinking, okay, two-thirds of Congress, I mean, he's got half of Congress. He doesn't have two-thirds yet, but maybe that's why they're trying to do all that, gerrymandering and trying to get more seats. And like they
right.
did in they did in Texas, they got, I think, five additional seats for
All
Republicans
about
in
the numbers.
Texas. A
Mhm.
lot of other states are doing it. Florida's doing it. Other states are doing it. So I think they're trying to increase their states or their things that way. But then three-fourths of the states, the legislatures of the states have to pass it. And so I looked it up, and he in the last election, Trump carried 38. Oh, sorry, he would need 38 states. So 75% of 50. I don't know if the Puerto Rico and those things count. I just went with states.
Mhm.
So he would need 38 states to ratify a change in the Constitution. And in the last election, he won 28 states. So he needs another 10 states. So he needs more seats in Congress and he needs 10 more states, which, uh, you know, throw some money at him. It could probably
Yeah,
happen.
right. So I say what you want, right? But he amazes me about how many things he's in. That he's, lawsuits or whatever he's doing. He's everywhere,
Yep.
right? So as you bring it up, that is, quite possible.
I think that's the plan. I think they're going to try for it. And somebody asked him like, "Hey, would you come back as the vice president? That you could just
He'd be
change the.
effectively the president anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on.
He is the president, but he just says he's vice president. And he actually said, he goes, no, that's too shady, it's too sneaky. I wouldn't do that.
Right.
So I don't know, who knows? But
That is
yeah,
very interesting though. And it's
yeah, they have a plan. They got a plan. Something.
obviously I didn't really think about the ballroom and he's building that for a reason. Right.
90,000 square feet.
Right. I mean,
Yeah, all gold.
right. And then people are just you know, suffering out there. It's
Hmm.
just,
There was yeah, no, never mind. Um all right. So yeah, okay, so we do have time. I'll tell you, there was a guy in Florida who was convicted of Medicare fraud. Over $1 billion of Medicare fraud. This
billion
guy,
with
billion with a B. I mean, this guy would drive multiple Lamborghinis. He was balling, like big balling. A private jet everywhere, hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash everywhere he went, all this stuff. Um, so the FBI did a multi-year investigation to get enough evidence to put him away. The trial lasted a couple years. Um, the guy at first admitted not guilty, but he lost. So then, at the sentencing, he's like, I've lost everything, blah, blah, blah. I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have done it, blah, 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 all this stuff. He got convicted. He goes to jail for years, and then he gets out of jail. Do you know how he got out of jail?
pardon, probably. Of
Trump pardoned him in
course
the
he does.
first term.
Yeah.
Why? Well, his family made a political contribution.
This is not good.
Oh my goodness.
That's not good.
It's I mean, like, I used to, when I was little, I used to think, you have to follow the rules. But now I see Trump operate and I'm like, dude, he blatantly ignores the rules. Blatantly.
Yeah,
Like they don't apply.
right.
And he's gotten everything.
And everyone's watching this, right? In one way or another.
Yeah. So
Mm,
it's crazy. It's like, okay, I'm learning a lot from watching this guy. You want people to
tough
go
read.
away? Just sue them. Make up something and sue them. They'll leave you alone. They'll go away. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know what there is much more to say about that. I mean,
Yeah, it's a
into it.
story. It's a story.
He does a lot of pardons, though.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He pardoned the one senator who was taking bribes or whatnot. I don't know what happened. It's like the guy was
He
so
pardoned
bad.
he pardoned a guy with Binance, right? The CEO of Binance
Yes,
and the
yes.
crypto. He just did that too.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to see Sam Bankman-Fried come out. Who knows?
Probably.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I'm sure that everybody is wondering, because today is the end of the month. Um, and so, before we get there, Jennifer posted comments that the more I look around, just my small town, so many people done following the rules. There don't seem to be any consequences. I'm starting to
I
try to
mean,
change my rule follower nature.
it kind of it gnaws at the fabric of everything.
Yep.
But
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh man. Well, the people that piss me off the most, the ones that park in the handicap spots that are not handicapped. I don't know why. It just galls me. Like I get so mad. Like I want to go up to them and be like, "You're not even handicapped. You're walking around." But you can't really do that because then they're like, "Oh yeah, I do have a handicap because I got the sticker. I got
right,
the little temporary
I
thing."
do wonder that all the time. Sometimes you see someone just like hop out of their car and they're like, "Yeah, well, they have their hand." You're like, "Who?"
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Like my dad, he had surgery, right? So he got one. He actually got two of them. So he gave one to my wife. She goes, "Here, you need it. Just use it." I'm
oh,
like,
see,
"No, no,
you're
no,
like,
no,
"No,
no, we're
stop
not
it
doing
right
that.
now."
We're not doing that."
Uh,
Like, you're old, you need it. Fine, you use it. You need the parking spot. It's hard for you to walk. Okay, but we're not using it.
yeah, that just because it's so hard to enforce it every which way, you know.
It's everywhere. I mean,
Yeah, it's
those
everywhere.
those things are always full. Oh man. All right. So I'm sure people are waiting because today is the last day of the month. That means that the SmackDown for October is coming to a close. and Matt is going to reveal the winner in just 2 seconds. But before we do that, let's give you the rules for November SmackDown 2025. Below this video, um, there will be a comment section on YouTube. So, what you need to do to participate, and this is free, no purchase necessary.
Free. Actually, real and free.
This is free. No purchase necessary. What you need to do is pick a stock symbol. It could be an ETF, but a stock symbol that you think is going to perform the best in the month of November. Now, today's the 31st, so our next call is on the 5th. So, when are we going to start, Matt?
I think the fifth would be fine.
The 5th? Okay.
Yeah, might as
So,
well.
you have until the 4th to put in your comment.
Yeah.
And then we will stop the commenting, and whoever, like, if there's, you put your symbol in the comments, that is your stock. You get one entry per person. If more than one people pick the same symbol, then whoever posted it first gets it. And you can be short if you want to. You just have to mention it in the comment that, hey, I'm picking this and I want to be short.
So end of the day on the fourth.
Yeah, sometime on the 4th. So get it in early. Get in the 3rd. Whenever I get around to it, I'm gonna pause the comments on the 4th.
I know
Um,
I gotta put all this together, so there's got to be an endpoint.
yeah. So get to it faster than that, because we'll shut it down before the sometime on the 4th, maybe on the 3rd. You got enough time. But it has to be in the comments in order to participate. And the winner gets a very, very cool prize. That has come is traveled very far. Like we had to travel very far to get this prize. Well, we didn't travel. The prize traveled, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, so traveled around the world. So it's a very it's a very well traveled prize, but it is very cool. It's a surprise. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it is a physical thing. Some people are like, oh yeah, you're just gonna send me a download ebook. No, it's actually a physical thing. It's about yay big. It's gonna sit on your desk, and you're gonna love it. And
that's
so
real.
that is the prize. Yeah, you get to knock it, play with it, do all kinds of stuff. And so that will be starting today as soon as we end this. So be careful. Pick your stock, and whichever stock, when we start it, it's not going to start on the 1st. Like Matt said, he's going to start it on the 5th. So whenever he starts it, that's the price we're going to take on the 5th. Okay. And then it'll end at the end of the month. Again, the last time we are having a call will be on November 28th.
Mhm.
So that is going to be the end date. So it's not exactly the whole 1 to
The
30.
end date will be Black Friday.
Black Friday. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the day after Thanksgiving.
Okay. Jennifer's asking, is it an Allen bobblehead? That'd be pretty cool. Not a me bobblehead, but
I
the
think
little
you should
option,
have one.
the OptionGenius bobblehead. That would be cool.
You can do
Walter,
that. Yeah.
Walter the bobblehead.
Mhm.
I've actually looked for that
Have you?
before. They're expensive. Oh yeah, they're expensive. But I'm sure we could probably, if we get a big enough quantity. But yeah. But
Or if
no,
I
this
think
is
someone wins multiple times, I think they should get the bobblehead.
maybe, yeah. This is actually, yeah, the price is actually cooler than a bobblehead. It's like useful. It's like a useful
I don't
thing.
even know. You haven't told me.
Yeah, I don't even have one. I, you
Huh.
know, you've actually seen it though. You've seen it when you came down for our meeting. You did
I have
see
an
it.
idea what it is. Yeah.
I think we gave you one. It wasn't this one though. I
No, you
think
ain't.
we did. No,
No.
I know Chuck. I know we gave Chuck one, and maybe even Nelson one when we were at the meeting. So I think we got. You think you got one?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. Well, we're gonna ask the winner to we're gonna ask the winner to post a picture when he gets it,
Mhm.
so everybody will know what it is. So yeah. All right. Drum roll.
All right.
Woo!
Month. Wait, let's see. Hold on 1 second. You have to wait one more second. Mhm. All right. Here we go.
All right. I'm looking. Uh,
Do you see it?
I think so. Go highlight it. I don't know which one is it.
Would be right here.
Highlight the line. Yeah, there we go.
Mr. Mark
Mark
Strickland
Strickland
with
coming in with
Geos.
Geos 23.9% return for a month. That's pretty solid, pretty good.
Very nice.
Um,
And then, this was interesting. Micron made a pretty good jump in the last few days, but it cooled off.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's interesting, right? Because we had October. This was October. We had one that was over 20%. Um, one like Palantir's up double digits and Micron up double digits. But last month in September, we had several that were up double digits. So October was actually a cool down month. Things really cooled off in October. And now we head into November. And so, well, congratulations, Mark Strickland. Please reach out to us, help at optiongenius.com. We'll need your address, your most recent address where you want you to send the gift to, and it will be shipped out to you. So awesome. Congratulations. And yes, please provide us a picture when you get it, with your smiling face, holding a little prize, so we can make you famous.
I know it's going to the great state of Montana. I know.
Montana.
So he needs I would like to see a picture, Mark, of you holding in front of it a buffalo or something. I think that would be kind of cool.
Buffalo. Do they still have buffaloes up there?
I don't know. Maybe Mark can tell us.
Cattle, right? I mean, I'm watching the Yellowstone, and it's like it's all cattle. No more
Well, we
buffaloes.
actually, it's funny. We were in a coaching call and he showed a picture of a moose that was on like his back porch.
Oh
That's
wow.
pretty cool. Yeah, that was pretty neat. So, yeah, interesting.
Okay then.
I mean, if
Um,
you can post a picture in front of the moose, if not, it's okay.
if not a dog,
Okay, something.
something, something.
So, congratulations. Well done.
Yes, great job. Um, and so November is going to be, November and December are usually the two best months of the year for option sellers. Many reasons. I think, there's a lot of holidays in the middle. The markets are closed. Wall Street takes a lot of time off. There are no major conferences or events or investor days or anything like that. So that helps,
It's
keep the
like a
news
bear
down.
hibernating in a way, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, markets sometimes they tend to overreact because there's not that many traders. So it can jump in one way or the other, but then it usually comes back. Um, but most of the time, the stocks are pretty stable, pretty steady, and sideways. So, we
Which is
don't,
wonderful for us.
which is wonderful for us. So we don't know about the rate cut, and so until then, we might see some sideways action in the markets. They started off weak and then they've had a good year, double digit returns. So we might see some sideways action. Up till now, they've been, like on the coaching call yesterday, we were talking like, hey, yeah, I wouldn't do an iron condor on the
No.
market right now.
Yeah.
But maybe, it settles down and that might be something that is becomes possible again for the next couple months. But we'll
I'd
see
love
how
to
it
see
goes.
what this market was doing if we didn't have all the big tech companies doing so well.
Well,
It
you can take a look at that
could be
because
interesting.
they have the S&P equal weighted ETF,
Hmm.
right? So that's like all the S&P companies, but they're all worth they're all at like the same amount. They I'm not saying that
They
right,
do
but
they disperse it
yeah.
equally. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they take 500, divide by 500, and that's what, everything is like they're all worth the same amount. Or they're price never, I give up. Whoop,
I know what
I
you're
give up.
saying. I got it.
But yes, but the S&P by itself is, Nvidia is the biggest and Tesla is big and all these Mac 7 are so big
And
and
5 trillion. I mean, that is like
yeah.
to
So they
understate
they push
trillion.
around the market, you know. So whatever they do, that's what the market does. So like S&P and the Nasdaq almost pretty much the same thing now. But if you take a look at the equal weight is not as much up as the S&P itself.
Hmm.
A lot of the times during the year, it was basically flat. So um, we've started to see a little bit of catch up in terms of the equal weight because other companies have started to gain as well. So other industries, healthcare has really done well this year. Mining, commercial, equipment type stuff has done well. Um, and so other industries are picking up. Even like you look at OIH, which is drillers and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
and it's making it's going higher from here. So interesting. It's an interesting time. But yeah, I think it'll be a good couple months. It usually is. Um, Still gotta stay on your toes, right? You can't just fall asleep.
Yeah, you have to be aware of what's going on, but
And like if we're
we talked
going
about
on
earlier, you just want to directionally put the pieces together, and everything seems to be that's to be the direction.
yeah. And so, if I'm going on vacation, I'm going to make sure that I, cut down on all my trades and nothing is there that's going to hurt me in case something goes crazy. But um, I'm still I'm still positioned in my main account bullish. Um, Maybe overweight bullish, like too much bullish, maybe. But oh, and
Uh-oh.
uh-oh,
Uh-oh,
uh-oh.
I already know that. I already noticed. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I guess I don't know. I'm addicted to punishment. I don't know. Can you guess? I got back into Eli Lilly today.
Oh,
I've lost so much money on Eli Lilly this year, and I keep going back for more. I just sold some naked puts today.
all right. So is this a revenge thing?
No, I was looking at the charts and it looked like a good chart.
Well, I mean,
And
that's okay.
probably probably a little bit of revenge. Um, but I
Well,
like,
I mean, if you had the reasons, what you stated, or why you got in.
yeah, I looked at several different charts. Um, and like I have some puts on GE that are expiring today. And I looked at it again and I decided that the reward is not worth the risk for next week. So I didn't renew them because normally you get to Friday and it's like, okay, these are going to expire, so I'll sell more on Friday and I'll use double the margin for
Right.
Friday and then it goes down. So I was like, okay, I need another trade for next week. I put Eli Lilly instead of GE. So
All right. Well, I mean, I
we'll
don't
see.
think that's a bad thing. I thought you
No.
were going to say something like way worse. Nothing.
uh,
It's nothing. It's just because of before. That's all it is.
yeah, yeah, but probably should stay away from it. But as soon as I get in, it goes straight down. So that's like,
That's most people. That's the kind of there's going to be a little bit of that
yeah.
in trading naturally.
All right. So Jennifer's saying that the equal weight S&P ETF ticker is RSP. If you want to take a look at it,
RSP.
RSP. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. And then Michael's putting in his SmackDown guess, AGQ. So he's the first one to say that. So Michael, I don't know if you get a chance, when this video is over, please put it in the comments of the YouTube video on YouTube. If not, I will try to remember and post it for you. But if you can, do that for us. Just so nobody gets mad. All right, so that's it for October. That's it for us today. Markets are pretty calm. Okay, I hope everybody has a great weekend. It's actually cooled down a little bit here, so
It's
I
cool
can't
down in
wait.
Florida as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to get outside and walk around, spend some time outside.
You won't
Um,
be sweating for a change.
no, I got my hoodie on. I
I
got my
know.
hoodie on.
I
Somebody
know.
on the call yesterday, I forgot who it was. Somebody on the call asked me if this was my bathrobe. I was like, "What? What?"
I think it was it Jen? I think it
Was
was
it? I don't know if
Jen.
it was Jen.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Jen, if it wasn't you.
But I was like, yeah, no, it's not my bathrobe. It's got my little hoodie. But yeah, even the office, even in this, like, it's still cold. Even if it's not cold outside, my freaking office is
Yeah.
still cold.
Well, you're near that. You have a big window near you. Should be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Uh, anyway, all right, my friends. So we'll see you. Oh, and just an update for those of you who have joined the club. Um, we opened the club up on I think Wednesday, and then we shut it on Thursday morning. So it was up. Oh, people could have joined for 24 hours. Um, but when they joined, they got a page that said, "Oh, hey, thanks for joining the club. We'll let you know when it's able when it's open." So we were not ready to launch the club, but we wanted
So
to
we kicked
get
that first tire, is what we did.
yeah, we wanted to get people in so they get excited. But we're opening it on Monday, which is November the 3rd. So you will get access. You will get an email with access to log in, create your password, do all that stuff. And then, yes, we will be kicking tires and doing all that. So the team really, um, us, when I say
No, we're
team,
excited about it. It's
it's
gonna be
really
great.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been hard at work putting everything together. Uh, and we still have a lot of stuff to figure out exactly how we're going to do it. And so I think that's why we limited it the first batch, we limited it and we're going to get their feedback and say, hey, what's the best way to do this? What makes the most sense? How do you want to see it? Instead of us trying to figure out like, okay, we think this thing should be over here and we should say, we should put this here. And, it's like, what is the most important to the group? What do they think?
Right.
And then we'll be
That's
able to use their
super
feedback.
important. Yep.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
cool beans. All right. And I don't mind. It was a joke about the bathrobe. It was a good joke. It was funny. I liked it. So I'm not mad. It was cool. But yeah, so we'll see you guys all on the next call, which is on Wednesday. Um, and you know, before the 3rd, please put your comments in the thing if you're going to join the SmackDown, and it's free, so why not? Okay.
I
All
agree,
right.
right? Take a shot.
Yep.
And
All right.
congratulations, Mark. Well
Well,
done.
congratulations, Mark. Yeah. He's a great guy. Mark is a great
He
guy.
is. He is. Yeah.
All right.